Hey everyone, this is going to be a layout I'm going to be doing for a mixed media challenge for the My Little Scrapbook Store winter online crop. I'll leave all the information for My Little Scrapbook Store down below, but I want to get into this because this is going to look like a real hot mess when it's all done, but I promise you it doesn't matter. So I'm just simply doing the packaging technique right now with some distress sprays and some distress oxide sprays. I'm now going to splatter with some different sprays as well. Now I'm going to use one of the Nuvo glitter gels. What are they called? Nuvo Glacier Paste. It's a light, really pretty light blue color. And I'm going to put it through the stencil. I will be honest, I wasn't a fan of how it went through that stencil. I wish I would have maybe pulled a different stencil for that, but that doesn't matter. I'm just adding texture and color all over this paper. I'm using the 6x8 Vicki Boutin foundations paper here, and I'm just adding now some modeling paste through that stencil. I pulled a whole bunch of stencils and a whole bunch of products in different blue colors. And now I'm going to pull out my Vicki Boutin crayons, and I'm going to do some more of the packaging technique with these. And it's just going to, I'm going to keep layering and layering and layering. I'm going to pull out another one here to get started on something else. So this is a fun way to just practice with mixed media. And don't ever, like when you're practicing mixed media, don't think to myself, I'm going to go make a mixed media background, because that's really overwhelming. But if you think to yourself, I'm going to get a 6x8 or a 6x6 piece of, foundations paper or mixed media paper or, heavy cardstock, and I'm just going to play. That is really the best way to learn how to use your products. Because in the end, what you're going to see is I'm going to use a punch with all of these. And you're never going to see the whole piece as a whole. As a whole, it honestly looks like a hot mess. But when it's all cut up, oh my goodness, it looks really, really amazing. And so I'm just going to encourage you right now to get out some of your products. Get out even if you want to use a 12 by 12, sometimes it's intimidating though to fill a full 12 by 12 page with mixed media. So I think start with cutting down your 12 by 12 into 4 by 4 squares, and just start layering with your stencils and playing and see what you can do. I think you'll be surprised, because once you let it dry, and then go back with it and take a circle punch or a star punch or any type of punch. Cut it into squares. I think it would be really cool to do this in greens, different green colors, and use a leaf punch or a leaf die and cut a bunch of leaves. I think that would be absolutely beautiful for a scrapbook page or a art journal or something like that. Same thing doing like hearts. Doing a bunch of different pinks and reds, and maybe do a Valentine layout with punched out hearts. So this is kind of my idea and my suggestion for those of you who want to practice your mixed media, but don't want to really think about a 12 by 12. I had so much fun doing this. It did not take long. I didn't even really think about it much. This one I'm using some, I believe it was the Distress crayons, and I mixed it with some modeling paste, turned it into a light blue color, and I'm going to put that through a stencil. And I just kept layering. And when you deal with monochromatic things at first, it makes it easier, because you're not going to make mud. Everything's going to blend together. So sticking with the blues and just keeping with that, it really made this really, really easy and fun and stress-free. Now, in the end, I do add a little bit of, not shimmer. It is, it's a Stickles, oh my gosh, I keep saying, I'm so sorry. But it's a Stickles paste, and it is called, it's so cool, it's a glitter gel, and it's called Nubella, and it has little stars in it. Oh my gosh, did you guys hear that? That is my neighbor's car every single morning at 6 a.m. I know it's not 6 a.m. now, but that's how he starts his car. It's so annoying. Sorry. Digress. Back to the layout. So I'm finishing up all of these mixed media pieces, and I left a lot of this in just so you could see my process and what I was doing. So I'll give you some close-ups of at the end after I've punched these out, so you can kind of see what they look like. But now I've got this little roller, and I rolled it through ink and added some just ink lines on there, and then I'm going to get a stamp, and I'm going to add some stamped images on there, and that just adds more and more texture. And you see what a hot mess those look like? I mean, what would you ever think you're going to do with those? They look terrible. But now this one, I started out with stamping, and actually this one I did not use on the layout. I really ended up liking this one. It's much lighter. And I am going to use it in something. I just don't know what yet. So I've set this one aside. When it's done, I will use it on another project. So check out the online Facebook group down below. You can join that group. Join the My Little Scrapbook Store Layouts and More Facebook group. That is where you'll find people posting layouts, lots of stuff on there, lots of inspiration. And then I will also leave a store for My Little Scrapbook Store's link, because she does have the distress crayons. She has many of the Nouveau glacier pastes. She's got some picket fence glazes, which are really fun. I don't know if I used these. I don't think I used those on this one. But she's got lots of fun mixed media products if you are looking to get started. So I'll leave that link below. And I'm so glad you guys stopped by my channel. I hope if you're enjoying the video that you will give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Yeah, so gosh, this process, I guess I didn't realize I left in as much. Oh, this is the Vicky Bouton glaze. So I'm going to go over that with a stencil as well. So as you can see, I mean, I'm just going over and over and over everything on these pages. And it does look like a hot mess, but it was fun to learn how the products worked, what stencils worked best with what products, and just all around get to play with the product without worrying about what it looked like in the end. And here I go. I'm going to start punching out all of these little stars. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me punch this out, because it was a process. I don't even know how many I punched out. A ton. So, and then I will be using the stars as a main element on my layout. So here we go. I'm just going to be covering the whole 12 by 12 page with the stars. And again, I'm just kind of showing you a bit of the process, but I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. I am kind of trying to distribute the stars so that the same types of colors and prints are not right next to each other. You'll see some have more of a darker blue, some have more of an aqua lighter blue, and I want to just make sure that those colors are distributed evenly across the page. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm going to add a little bit more texture, and I'm going to sew across all of those stars, which I think I may have already done, which you'll see in the close-up as well. So I did horizontal stitching across each line of stars. So anyway, I'm just scrapbooking some pictures of my husband and I, and wanted this to be kind of somewhat patriotic looking. And this, I don't really have like 4th of July paper or anything like that. So this is the idea I came up with to make it look somewhat patriotic. So I'm going to back both photos. I end up not liking that wood grain. It was just too heavy for the page. And then I'm going to glue the photos together just like that. Sometimes I like to just stick my photos together and be able to move them together on the page. Now, I know I'm going to want to fill in that little spot right there. And I put on there, it says Freedom and Liberty, American Heart since 1976. So that was in my stash. I actually believe I got that off of a give and take table, which was perfect. And then down here, this blue camera I got out of a random in my stash. And then I just went into my stash and I pulled out anything with reds and blues to see what I could pull together for this one. So everything is from different collections, different manufacturers, all of that. I was just looking for based on color. I do store a lot of my embellishments by color. Once I get through using them as a collection, I split them up into either color or season or birthday or something like that. I have a binder for that. I use that chipboard ticket that says awesome. I was going to bring in that red, but it just was not the right red. And oh my goodness, you guys, this is supposed to say freedom. And this is the story of my life. I misspell stuff. When I spell things backwards on a layout, I am constantly misspelling things. So you will find in the close-up shots that I eventually, not until I'm completely done and putting this layout away, do I realize I actually misspelled the word. So crazy. And then that Forever and Ever red banner, that came from a Valentine thicker pack. So it just says Freedom Forever and Ever. And this is really going to be it. I'm going to add some glittery foam stars. I'll add 3 of those across the layout. And I may have already done that. You see one at the bottom, one at the top right, and then there's one at the top left, just to kind of tie all of those little clusters together. And that is going to be my layout. And I really am super happy with the way it turned out. Like I said, in the close-up photos, you will see that I did add an R to my title. There's all those stars. Aren't they amazing? Oh, thank you so much, guys, for checking out my video. I hope you'll come back for more, and have a great